A first-class ticket usually means peace, comfort, a glass of champagne before takeoff, a warm towel for your hands, a cushioned seat that leans all the way back. But for Brielle Carter, it meant something else that day. It meant walking into a space where others assumed she didn't belong. And when she stepped onto that plane to New York, she had no idea how many eyes would be watching her, or how much her presence would ripple through the cabin until the moment someone stood up and everything changed. She entered Terminal 4 at JFK with the calm confidence of someone who had long stopped explaining herself. Brielle didn't need to announce her word hit showed in her walk, her posture, the way she carried her luggage. A sleek, graphite-colored carry-on wheeled silently behind her, and a sand-colored leather tote rested on her forearm. There was no flash, no performance. This was simply her life. Earned. Fought for. Built from late nights, hard choices, and sacrifice. The destination was New York City, nonstop, and she was flying first class. Nothing unusual. She'd done it countless times. But she knew that certain rooms and cabins required a little more armor than others. She felt it before she saw it. That shift in the air when people notice something or someone they didn't expect. A second too long between glances. The unspoken tension of disbelief, of suspicion, wrapped in polite smiles. Her shoes tapped steadily against the tile floor as she approached the first-class line, boarding pass already in hand. Her ticket was for seat 3A, a window seat near the front of the cabin. The woman at the gate was tall, blonde, mid-40s, with the kind of clipped, tight posture that spoke of rules and unspoken judgments. Her name tag-read Brenda. She scanned the ticket with a blink of disinterest, but her gaze flicked up and rested too long on Brielle's face. "This is for first class," she said, her voice sharp in that perfectly passive-aggressive way. The words were simple, but the implication wasn't. "I know," Brielle replied, her tone polite but firm. Brenda's eyes shifted past her as if expecting someone else to walk up, maybe someone to validate what she couldn't reconcile. Someone who looked like what she believed a first-class passenger should be. "Are you sure this is your ticket?" "For first class," Brielle asked, tilting her head. "You mean for paying passengers?" A flush rose in Brenda's cheeks. Behind Brielle, someone cleared their throat. An older man in a tailored suit tapped his watch impatiently. The moment broke. Brenda wordlessly handed the ticket back. Brielle took it and walked down the jet bridge without another word, her steps unshaken. But she could feel Brenda's eyes still burning into her back. She reached her seat, slid her carry-on into the overhead bin, and settled in. A glass of sparkling water rested on the tray. The seat reclined with the push of a button. Peace. That's all she wanted. A few hours in the air, a moment to herself. But peace doesn't last when people expect you to explain yourself. A flight attendant approached. Young, brunette, too much makeup to hide the tightness around her eyes. Her name tag-read Tanya. Her smile was tight, her tone overly rehearsed. "Excuse me, ma'am. May I see your boarding pass?" Brielle looked up, puzzled. Around her, passengers were sipping drinks, reclining. Not a single other person was being asked. "It was scanned at the gate," she said coolly, not reaching for it. "It's just a routine check," Tanya offered, fingers twitching slightly against her serving tray, "to make sure everyone's seated correctly before takeoff." Brielle didn't answer. She simply stared back, letting the silence stretch. When Tanya's smile began to waver, Brielle reached down, picked up the boarding pass from her lap, and handed it over. The flight attendant barely glanced at it before nodding. "Thank you," she said quickly. Brielle watched her walk away, too fast for someone so calm. A soft chuckle came from across the aisle. An older black man, maybe mid-60s, glasses resting halfway down his nose, folded his newspaper and looked at her. "They always do that to us, don't they?" Brielle smiled faintly. "Like clockwork. You handled it better than I would have." "I've had practice." He nodded. "Still shouldn't have to." The pilot's voice came over the speakers, deep and calm. "Ladies and gentlemen, we're scheduled to depart on time. Please ensure your seatbelts are fastened." Brielle leaned back. Whatever irritation she'd felt, she pushed it aside. It was just another flight. But then she heard the pilot's name, Captain Elias Carter. Her lips curled into a smile. From across the aisle, the older man raised a brow. "You know him?" "Something like that," Brielle replied. She smoothed the silk scarf around her neck, exhaled slowly, and tried to let herself relax. But Tanya wasn't done. When drink service began, Tanya returned, again too polite, again too invasive. "Ma'am," she said, eyes flicking to the empty seat beside Brielle. "Are you expecting someone?" Brielle frowned slightly. "No, it's just that you're seated alone and... Would you like to see my ticket again?" No, that's not necessary. I just meant we try to ensure all first-class seats are accounted for." "Do you?" Tanya paused, cleared her throat. "Would you like a refill?" "No, thank you." The moment ended awkwardly. Tanya stepped away quickly. The man across the aisle hummed with amusement. "They really don't know when to quit." "No," Brielle said quietly, "they don't." She opened her Kindle and tried to read, but voices from a few rows ahead caught her attention. "I'm just saying, I haven't seen her before," Tanya whispered. "She has a ticket," another attendant replied, his voice male, more grounded. "It's just unusual." "She has a ticket," he repeated, firmer now. "You saw it." Brielle stood up. Calm, controlled. She stepped forward and stopped just behind Tanya, who froze when she sensed the presence behind her. "Unusual?" Brielle said softly. Tanya turned, startled. "Oh, just an observation. Do you memorize all first-class passengers?" "No, of course not. I just thought I didn't belong here," Brielle finished. Tanya opened her mouth, but no defense came. "I've been flying first class longer than you've been pouring drinks," Brielle said, then added, "I don't need your apology. I need you to stop treating people like they don't belong because they don't fit your assumptions." She turned and walked back to her seat. The man across the aisle chuckled. "Polite readjustment." "I'm trying to be better," she replied. "Better than what?" Brielle turned a page. "Better than what they expect." For the next hour, Tanya didn't return. Good. Then, the cockpit door opened. No one noticed at first. Then Captain Elias Carter stepped out, tall and composed in his crisp white uniform. The cabin fell quiet. His eyes searched, found her, and he smiled. He walked down the aisle slowly, with purpose. People noticed now. When he reached Brielle's row, he extended his hand. She took it. "Sorry for the delay," he said softly. "Missed you. I noticed." From behind them, Tanya's voice broke the silence. "Captain Carter, is there something you need?" Elias turned to her. "Just saying hello to my wife." Gasps, murmurs. Tanya paled. Didn't realize." "Didn't realize what?" Elias asked calmly. "That she was your wife." "Why would that matter?" Tanya struggled to respond. She couldn't. Elias turned to Brielle. "Everything all right?" "Just a misunderstanding," she said. He nodded. "I trust her flight has been comfortable." "Of course," Tanya mumbled. Elias watched her another beat before nodding. "Good." He kissed Brielle's hand again before heading back to the cockpit. The cabin remained hushed. A few minutes later, Tanya returned. "Mrs. Carter," she said softly. "Yes." "I wanted to apologize." "Again." "You made me uncomfortable," Brielle said simply. "I know. I didn't realize." "That's the problem," Brielle interrupted. "You shouldn't have to realize someone's importance to respect them. Whether I'm his wife or not, I paid for my seat. That should have been enough." Tanya swallowed. "You're right." Brielle nodded. "Let's hope you remember that next time." The plane landed smoothly. The man across the aisle smiled. "Think she learned something today?" Brielle shrugged. "We'll see." When they stood to disembark, Elias met her near the exit. "Mrs. Carter," he said playfully. "Captain," she replied. The businessman who had rushed her earlier gave Elias a sheepish nod. "Smooth landing, Captain." "Appreciate it." Brielle smirked. "Think he was embarrassed?" "Maybe." "And her?" "Oh, definitely." Elias took her bag. "And if she tries this again?" "She won't," Brielle said. "But if she does, she'll learn again." And with that, the captain and his wife exited the plane. Together.